There, it's Cindy Shulson, and I am doing a little bit of an impromptu Facebook Live for our group here, just because it's needed. Because I've been seeing and hearing some things lately, and even some things I've been facing myself that have been bubbling up, and I just feel it's important to share this with you and to really take a stand for you. So I want to start with a quick story. When I was growing up, my brother and I are 15 months apart. His name is Steve. And I was just this like straight A student, didn't have to necessarily even work that hard at it, and just, a really good student. And my brother had dyslexia and he really struggled. He had some other issues too, some emotional issues, and he just really struggled. And what's funny is that as I look now, as I look back on it, by the time I was 10, I was fairly fluent in two foreign languages. My brother struggled to read and do math. But in the end, what happened is that despite getting kicked out of high school, he actually had some really tremendous skills in business and people skills and a heck of a lot of perseverance. And he is now a self-made multimillionaire. And I couldn't be prouder of him. He's an entrepreneur. He's just done amazing things with his life. And when I look at my two boys, I have two boys, they're 12 and 15. And as I look at them, they're also very, very different. My older son is like the straight A student, very smart, very focused. And my younger son is a creative, soulful spirit. He's such a fun, inspiring person. In fact, a lot of what I've written about blog posts and stuff have been inspired by my kids. And I tell them this story about my brother and I. And I think it's important that they understand, and that we all understand, that we all have our strengths in life. And my job as a parent is to help recognize, celebrate, and leverage those strengths for my children. We spend way too much time thinking about what we don't do well and way little time thinking about what is just so natural to us and just such a great innate strength that we have. And I just think that this is the stand that I have to take for my children, is to help them recognize those and leverage those. And it's the stand I have to take for my strengths. And above all, it's the stand I have to take for my clients, is to help them recognize their strengths and put those front and center in their business. But I also think it's my job to help my children, myself, and my clients develop the strength of character that we need to really persevere in our businesses. Another quick Noah story here, if I may. So Noah's the 12-year-old, and the other day he came to me and he said, Mom, I wish I could figure out what I want to do in my career like now. So so that I could get there faster, so that I could like start it younger and just like get ahead faster. And I remember saying to him, I just was so shocked that a sixth grader would even have this thought. But I told him, I said, life is a series of steps, but it's not necessarily a linear series of steps. It can be a zigzag. It's not like we just go through a straight path in life and we just get there in, this straight shoot. It's not like that. It's the zigzag. And every step we take, we learn from and leads to the next step. And I'm sure if you look back on your own life, you'll see that that's very, very true. I know it's certainly true in my life. My undergrad's in mathematics, then went on to do an MBA in international business and marketing and worked in strategic communications, and now here I am. It's not a straight path. And when we can just recognize that we're taking the zigzag path and that every step we take is an opportunity to learn and grow and improve ourselves, that will help us reach our goal. But we don't have to go in a straight shoot. It's just not how life works. And the same is true for your business. And I think that sometimes we tend to forget that because we're so often told, get this simple, this simple system and you'll get six figures in 6 months and blah, 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 blah. And we know for those of us who've been doing it long enough that that's just not true. Yeah, there are some people who, do that, but why do we have to compare ourselves to other people? We're here on our own journey. We're here to get support along that journey, obviously, that's essential. But we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to other people, and we shouldn't be unrealistic thinking that, it just happens overnight and it's a zigzag, and we have to build on the success that we achieve at each step and learn from the mistakes and grow. And, I think this is really true for both the macro part of our business and the micro. And I want to share some quick examples with you. I love you too, Marina. I really do. What a wonderful soul that Marina is. Thank you for being here. I know this is impromptu, so, you can watch it on the replay if you're not here live, but thank you if you are. So let's talk about the macro path. Sometimes what happens is that we'll say, okay, let's say we choose a niche, for instance, and we'll work on it for a little bit and then say, oh, this isn't the right niche because I'm not getting the results that I want. Well, how do you know it's not the right niche? Maybe you just weren't getting your message out there in the right way, or maybe the marketing that you've been doing hasn't been as effective, as targeted, as strategic, or maybe you just haven't given it enough time to really let the results build, because it does take time. I remember when I was first getting started with my business, not the beginning before I completely screwed up, but once I got on track, it was like, it felt like every step was so small. And eventually what happens is that snowball effect starts to happen. We build up enough visibility and momentum that people start coming to us to ask us to do interviews and to ask us to work with them. But it takes time to build that momentum. And then once it does, watch out, the snowball's got legs of its own, right? So just give it the time and the space to really make sure that you are not just abandoning ship before you've really given things the time to breathe and to really grow into them. Because I see that happen a lot, where people will just jump from one niche to another, assuming the problem is with the niche or something like that, when really it just haven't given it enough time and space and strategy to really let it evolve. And the same is true on a micro level. If you're doing a project, if you're launching something or doing a live challenge like I did, then we might think, oh, I didn't get as many sales as I want. What a total flop. And then we'll just think, okay, on to the next project. Well, the truth is, there are probably some things you did very, very well, and there are probably some things you can tweak, and there are probably some assets that you created through that launch or through that whatever initiative that you did that you're going to completely overlook if you just run to the next thing. So when I did this challenge, I want to tell you guys, if you actually look in our Facebook group, you'll see I created this group 2 years ago because I wanted to do a challenge 2 years ago and I never got to it. So I know myself, if I really want to be accountable and make it happen, sometimes I just, especially if there's like a lot of moving pieces, I need some help. So I invested in a program and it taught me how to do the challenge. And I followed most of it. I didn't do everything they said to do, but I followed most of it. And I just sort of knew that I was going to just do this as a very first soft thing and see how it goes and then, try it again. And I was happy with the results. Not as happy as I thought I would be, but I was happy that I did it because of what I learned from it, because it helped me create this wonderful community here, because it helped clients I'd worked with years ago get re-engaged with me, and it was so wonderful to hear from them, because I got over my fear of doing video. I mean, talk about jumping off the deep end. If you're going to do video, Facebook Live, my goodness, you're live, right? So it created all these wonderful things, and I created this wonderful challenge that I'm now actually currently working on to redo, and I'm going to be doing it again live. I'm working on changing the content and the offer and the timing and the structure. So I'm really looking at what I learned from the first one and redoing it. Now, I could have gone and said, oh, this didn't work the way I wanted. I'm never doing a challenge again. They suck. But I can't do that. Remember, we're doing a zigzag. We're building on our success and we're taking from each step and learning from it and growing. So, and even a friend of mine who did the same challenge program, she got no sales and she invested a lot of money in Facebook ads and she was really frustrated. And just the other day, she wrote and said, hey, you know what? Somebody who saw my challenge really liked what I had to say and invited me to speak on her telesummit. Well, that's the beginning of the snowball. So please, I just want you to take a stand for yourself, to celebrate what you bring to the table, to leverage it in your business, to do it strategically, and to really not give up if things aren't going quite in the linear path that you want. And to get support. And if you're called to work with me or to explore how I can support you in this, please just reach out. Go to talkwithcindy.com, send me a message on Facebook, whatever you like. But I really want to be here today to take a stand for you in your business. All right, so next time I promise to give you more advance notice, but I just wanted to share that. It was just weighing on my heart and I had to get it out there. So, oh, Marina, thank you so much. Oh, Marina said, you're speaking to my soul right now. Thank you, Marina. Yeah, sometimes, just things just bubble up and you got to get them out there. So I'm glad I did. I really, you're so welcome, Marina. And I hope other people can come back and watch the replay. And again, as I promised, I plan on doing more Facebook Lives in this group. I used to do a monthly community call. And one of the things I realized after I did the challenge was I just built the community here, or starting to build it. Why not do this community calls right here in this community using this wonderful Facebook Live? So that's what I'm going to be doing more and more. And as I said, I plan to give you more advance notice. I hate being like, feeling like I have to do it a specific time every week or something like that. But I think what's going to work best for me is Fridays at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Because usually I don't meet with clients on Fridays. I'm not going to do it every Friday. I'm looking to do it every second Friday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So hopefully that works for you guys, because I encourage you to take your Fridays off to work on your business instead of in your business. All right? All right, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I look forward to seeing your comments on the replay and look forward to having you do the next challenge with me. All right? Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great weekend.